Hello, everyone. Welcome or welcome back to the Venusian Light Tarot. So today we are here to do a specific message for a specific group of people in the collective. So if you do feel drawn to the title, to the thumbnail, if this pops up randomly, then it could be for you. But just take what resonates. It's not going to be for everyone. So as usual, I did channel some information already before I started the reading. So I'm going to kind of go over what I was picking up on, and then we will go deeper into it. We'll open up to the messages a bit more and also pull some cards if we feel guided to. Okay, so when I first tuned in to this message, I was being shown a shell, a seashell that was cracked open. And then they showed me this big table. And I was hearing the truth is on the table. And they were showing it to be like spread out, all sprawled out. And then as they showed that to me, I was hearing long overdue. And for some, this feels like I was getting years, long overdue clarity, long overdue insights that is now on the table or is coming out on the table. And they were showing me here that the word extracted kept coming through. And when I was asking what was being extracted, I was hearing little poisons or little potions. And this feels like it could be a few different things, but they were showing your aura, whoever is going to resonate with this, almost having a bit of a dark cloud around it. Although this feels like it's recent that this has come up, it's not been what you have been walking around with all this time, or this doesn't represent your energy. But there was some kind of like mental or spiritual prison that has been cloaked around you for possibly, I was getting years. And they were saying that these are being extracted right now from multiple areas of your life. So it's almost like little needles or little threads from different parts of your life that are being extracted at this point, which has been long overdue. And when I kind of asked why this was happening, I was getting something about there was an expiration date for when this would occur. So it almost feels like this could be a bit of a timely message for someone, that this is like a bit of a phase that you're going through right now. I'm not sure exactly what the expiration date means. Maybe there were certain situations or relationships that have run its course in a sense of an expiration date. And this would be the time that it's finally being put on the table. So maybe if we've avoided something, or if it's reached some sort of soul expiration date, this is the time when this is coming up. And I was getting here as well. Yeah, they were showing me like a shoreline and the waves coming in. And as the waves carried in, it was leaving everything on the shore that it took with it. And as the wave pulled back out, it was like everything was kind of also sprawled out on the shore. So, and then I also saw Pluto. And then the death card flew out of the tarot here. So there could be something going on with Pluto, Scorpio energy, but this feels like for a group of you who are going through a very deep transformation, even if it's only a bit of a temporary thing. This may not be how you felt for a long time, as opposed to more of like, this is coming up from a long time ago right now, or long overdue things. And it does feel with the Five of Pentacles that it may not be pleasant, or it may not be something that is is pleasant to go through, because the Five of Pentacles does connect to a lack mindset, to possibly a feeling of kind of being left out in the cold. It could be abandonment wounds. It could be lots of, like with this Scorpio energy, it's very deep. And so I just think that anything that's been kind of confining you in some sort of heavy spiritual prison, as they were calling it, is now being extracted from your life. They're being pulled out. And I was hearing be open to listen. And then they were showing me as well that this is kind of like a natural process that has to ebb and flow. I was being shown a fragile symbol like that we put like on a moving box. And there's something of like handle with care, or be fragile right now. And almost like if we go through like a detox program, or if we reset like a machine, it has to like run the natural course before it's ready to go back out in the world, or something like that. So I do think that Spirit really wants, I'm seeing somebody lighting a candle for some reason. So that could be something that you may want to do, especially because this feels like it's going to be for a specific group of you who feel this, like you may feel a heaviness, or you may feel like that you just need to do this, or you feel pulled into this kind of zone of needing to almost connect on a deeper level to Spirit, but also to like really release yourself, to free yourself from what has been long overdue holding you back. And yeah, so let the process happen naturally. So like a focus on extra self-care is also what was coming through. And for some, if it does resonate, this could go very deep into, I'm getting like childhood. So if that resonates, even if you can't connect the dots with that, maybe there's something else happening, but then it actually like subconsciously is connecting back to childhood, because I'm seeing something also about that with the Five of Pentacles. And I keep getting a sense of like, I'm seeing somebody like confronting a monster. And there's a feeling of not being afraid of this. So maybe for some of you, you do feel afraid of this. And this is kind of like a gentle message for you from your spirit team to kind of confirm for you that this is what has been taking place, or this is why you've been feeling this maybe heaviness or this pressure, or maybe you feel this sudden urge to like clean up your life or to clear things out of your life. So either this is like a good feeling, maybe not good feeling, but maybe it's something that you almost like look forward to healing yourself from, or like finally getting out of this energy. And I think they just want someone here to know that something here about this being heavily supported with candles. I'm seeing for some of you, this could be like your ancestors coming through, or this could be, if there are certain spirits that you work with, you may want to like something about like a dark room and candles and kind of like invoking your ancestors or your guides. Definitely this Scorpio energy. Sometimes these readings can also be a few months before these things unfold. So I am filming this in August. So for some, it could be like Scorpio season or Halloween. But yeah. So is there anything else here, Spirit, that you want to say? The situation changes rapidly, and so must your response. What else do you want to say, Spirit, for this group of people who are here and who are aligning with this message? Let me actually pull a card from this deck. This is here at the bottom. And actually this is beneath this here too. We have Book of Shadows. We have the bubbling up, which is kind of that bubbling up I was getting as well. And there is something about timing. So I don't know if maybe this is something that, I keep seeing that candle. I don't know why I keep seeing that. Something of, that's probably just very specific for someone. If you are wondering like when, I don't know if you're like planning for the, I don't know what that is, but planning for something, and there's something about having to check the timing or the astrology of something. What else, Spirit, do you want to say here? Into the unknown. Yeah, at the bottom we have coming apart. Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Definitely with this like Pluto, the death energy. There is this almost, I feel some of you may be embracing the unknown, or you're called right now to really embrace the unknown, face your fears. It could even feel like a swampy time or a foggy time. And so I feel like if this is in regards to something with this Five of Pentacles, maybe you are preparing for a big change, or you're preparing to move into a certain direction that is scary, or is just maybe simply the unknown right now that you haven't been really comfortable with up to this point. And they're showing me again, it's like you're dropping all of the heaviness in order to face this. So I think that this is, I mean, after the Death card, we can only have a rebirth. So whatever comes after this is that shell cracking open that I'm seeing again. So if this does apply to something that resonates with you, to where you are preparing yourself to kind of like go out into the world somehow again, or to launch something, or to pursue something, or even just to open yourself up again, that's kind of where this is coming through to say that a lot of things are coming apart and being extracted either before you do this, or you need to sit with this so that you can do so, or allow that process to happen. Because it feels like whoever this is has a lot of fear, or a lot of built up. Again, they're showing me somebody is like, has been not moving for a while, or has been stuck or stagnant, or there's been some area that has not been moving. I'm also seeing 1111. Temperance reversed. Yeah, I'm seeing like carbonated water. It feels like, let me see here, the devil is at the bottom. So I'm not sure how this applies to everyone, but it keeps coming up, this like fizzy water. So things are bubbling up. And it's kind of like going back to what I was saying about like the truth is on the table. So take this where this applies. This could even be picking up on several different kind of specific energies. For some, you would know what this is, because it's like things are fizzing up or bubbling up within yourself, as we kind of see here. Having to do with releasing yourself from a mental and spiritual prison that would allow you to move forward to something, or to face the fear, like if I make this move, and I would face failure, or the potential for failure, or like removing those heavy, and I'm hearing it's not even yours. So for some of you, this could even be projections that have been placed upon you from other people or other situations. This could possibly be vice versa, or could apply to somebody around you as well, or it could even be like a collective thing to where it applies to multiple people or multiple ways. And if that's the case, it feels like this is, whoever this individual is, has had like a blocked solar plexus or sacral area. And I'm hearing so much potential that has been untapped. So it's like, it's almost like this feels like that too, like with the extraction reference. If we were to extract all of the fear or extract the darkness, it's like the sun would come out, or we would have more room for growth, or for joy, or for passion. And so it feels like someone's been caught in this little cage here and has not allowed themselves to have change, or to move towards change. So if this does resonate as being something to do with you, you may find that, again, this process is kind of one of drudging everything up onto the shore. So whether you do this in like a way that you actually go in and search for that, maybe through like journaling or meditating or seeking inward, or if it comes up organically or naturally to where somehow or another the truth is kind of on the table, and it feels like they want you to be open and listen to that. We do have the Emperor reversed and the Seven of Swords. So for some, this could be picking up on a person around you, or it feels like, again, I don't know, it could be both. But with the Emperor in reverse here, either way, this is someone who hasn't been maybe feeling empowered to take bold action, or there has been I don't know, they're showing me like a ball that keeps going back and forth in like the same tunnel, and it can't move out of it. So something feels very stuck here. And that's what they're saying, long overdue, and something about years I was getting for someone. So an expiration date for when this would happen. Yeah, and I'm getting spirit like pushing this person, the moon in reverse and the queen of, I don't know, I think that's the Queen of Cups. It's like spirit's really pushing this to happen. And it also could be around the full moon. I never know with this deck here, like if this was Two of Pentacles, is this the Two of Wands? I guess it's probably, I don't know what this is. With the birds, it could be swords maybe. But that's kind of what that mental prison. Wow, ghost lands as well. And here's this clock. Or I thought it was a clock. Kind of similar to this card here. Okay, so anything else, Spirit, like where are we going with this, or what's the outcome of all this? Can you tell me anything else about what's next from this? Any other detail, please? Because they keep repeating here the same thing. Yeah, the moonlight. I don't know. Someone's really going through, basically, if you hear that in the background, my dog is sleeping. It feels like, it's just like, it's almost like a very mysterious time, or it's a time here to just wherever these people are going, or whoever this character is, or just the collective is just basically being pulled here out of like the darkness and out of the ghost lands, out of the moonlight. Things have to come apart for us to have what we want, I'm getting as well. So if there's like a wish fulfillment on the other side of this or around the bend, someone has to approach their fear to have that. And there's almost like, again, this expiration point somehow in the collective where we're being like forced out of that shell, or we're being pushed away out of that, because things can't align in that way if one is not willing to face the fear. And they keep saying that about like an expiration. So it may not have always felt like this or been like this, but something has been building pressure for maybe for a few years for some, to where this is now the moment that it can't be sustained in the same place that it's been. So whatever wishes and desires and life path and changes that are either already planned right now for somebody or could be coming up ahead, there is no more like running from that. Yeah, flowing and evolving. And this is very fresh looking compared to like this over here. So it's like we have to kind of follow the fresh stream and the freshness of energy. And so it's like there needs to be a reviving, a revitalizing of whatever this like big detox energy is, an extraction. And as they were saying, little poisons are being extracted. So with the devil over here, poisons, little poisons can be anything that we're either thinking about repetitively, or behaviors, or certain things that are even like vices or addictions. So someone's really been needing to face the fact that it's time to extract those. Yeah, be a spiritual warrior. So it feels like, I'm hearing Spirit say it's going to feel so much better, or doesn't it feel good, or something like that. So it feels like this is someone who may be returning back to the sacred within themselves, and definitely clearly shedding the old. And it's almost like it's rejuvenating someone's like happiness, but also like a sense of joy, or invigorating something that has been not stirred up for a while. And so that feels very good, or it could even be getting back to some like a youthful feeling, or a playful feeling, or just feeling more like, it's almost like when we confront something that has been like that we've brushed under the rug, even if it's uncomfortable in the moment, after it's done, it feels like it's much more clear or we feel better about it, even if it's, yeah, even if it's uncomfortable in the moment. Yeah, make a wish, see it through, and your wish will come true. There's definitely something about a wish here. At the bottom, some of you may want to clear, obviously, your space, your energy, to invite in fresh energy. What is this wish here? Because it feels like, let me see. Yeah, they're saying it's going to be very different for everyone. They're saying here that it's going to be an intuitive message or an intuitive reading, where there could even be like multiple wishes or blessings that you can almost like sense are coming in, or you can kind of sense that you're able to more so attract them now or draw them towards you, but maybe you just need to know like what is happening first before you get there. We have the Two of, I think this is the Two of Cups, maybe. I don't know. Two of Pentacles, maybe. This deck is kind of confusing. Ace of Swords reversed. Probably the Two of Pentacles would make more sense. Yeah, so it could be something very specific that someone has been going back and forth on as to whether or not this would work, or whether or not this would be something that, definitely with Ace of Swords reversed, it hasn't been seen clearly, or our fears or someone's fears has blocked them from that path. Let me see if I can get any specific to like who are we talking about here with this deck. But I think some of you may make sense of this, or you may know exactly what this is talking about if this does relate to some path that you've been, or even like your own self with the swords here, Ace of Swords. It could be like just like an epiphany moment of your own mind becoming clear about just your life in general, if that makes sense. Just kind of, it definitely feels here that, yeah, with this number 10, the scythe. And they're telling me that again, truths are on the table. Out of any confusion that one has faced. I'm hearing that quote, if it's easy, it's normally not worth it. But if it's not easy, it's worth it. Something like that. So it's kind of like not settling for what's easy or what's comfortable or the comfort zone just because we don't want to look at something or to confront something. So it's like making a sacrifice in order to have more in the end. It could be talking about a relationship, because I'm kind of getting for some, there may be. For some of you, yeah, and if it's not, if this doesn't feel like it's talking about you, it could be about someone around you. But oftentimes it mirrors anyway. Any final message here, Spirit? Here's this compass again. Bad health. So someone here could be in actually like bad health, struggling with something with the Five of Pentacles, or clearly there's been a situation or a path or something that has not been healthy with the Devil and the Temperance reversed, and maybe a mindset or something we've attached ourselves to that is coming from fear. Someone has attached to the fear rather than the bigger picture of something. think of where you want to go, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, so I think I'll just leave it here because it feels like there's a ton of different specific scenarios. But yeah, with the star and the crossroads here of the two paths, take it where it applies for you. But there's definitely a decision here that someone has to make or needs to think about when it comes to what would be the higher path I'm getting, like with the star and this horse here and the rainbow, like what would kind of be the highest path that would flow us away from, it would be something more sacred. It would be something that would be more aligned spiritually. So it's kind of like the devil versus the lovers is what I'm saying here. So if that is about a connection, it could be. But it also feels like it's choosing what we love or choosing what is more aligned from a place of love rather than attaching to something that something with this thief here, like it's been false or someone is almost deceiving themselves. So I'm going to get a final message from this deck just to see if there's any final advice for the viewer here. One card from this deck. Is there any final advice, Spirit? Okay, we have two of these. We have flow and we have Pachamama. Let me see what's at the bottom. Fire. Any final advice here for the viewer? Yeah, so again, just kind of grounding also with this here. There's something with that allow the natural process. So it's almost like allow for something to happen right now, allow for this process to occur, or embrace the changes that it's bringing, whether it's about you or someone else or both. And they're showing me a road that has been permanently closed. And it's like we can't kind of go back to that road that's been permanently closed. We have to flow now with a higher purpose or a higher calling. And they just keep showing that, like removing the clutter, removing the trash, plucking that all away. Flowing through the uncomfortable emotions that could come from that. And for some, there is this, with this be a spiritual warrior as well. There's that message coming in of like a lot of strength and a lot of perseverance, and like your spirit team almost giving you this support in a way of just wanting you to keep going with this if this is you. But yeah, I think I'll leave it here. I hope that this could find who it was meant for. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and I will talk to you all in the next reading. Take care and lots of love.